What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Third Eye Cyphs. I'm looking at Haku right now, and she's like, she looks so funny because I'm like sitting in front of my altar, and I kind of like rearranged my room because I got like this bigger altar, and yeah, I got this. Oh my god! Now the dog wants to start barking. That's my roommate's dog. And it's like 5 in the morning. Okay, oh no, actually it's 6:30 in the morning, but it's still pretty early. But like, it was so quiet until I started recording, and then he wants to start barking. Anyways, so I rearranged my room because I got this bigger altar, and I kind of put Haku's scratching thing on top of her litter box. Like, she has like this box litter box, so it's like higher up. So she's like looking down at me from her tower. Because I'm sitting at the altar, it's like staring at me, but then her eyes were like tiny. I don't know, it looked funny. It looked cute. Anyways, hold on, let me adjust myself because I am too far from this mic. Okay, I'm trying to get comfy here. This is my first time recording at this altar. Okay, well. Again, it is 6:30 in the morning. I have my love here, so I'm gonna try to be quiet so I don't wake him. And I have a little Haku looking so cute at me right now. How are you guys doing? Happy Friday. Well, I mean, whenever you listen to this. But yeah, it is 6:30 in the morning. It is Friday. I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are taking care of yourself. I hope you're drinking water, staying hydrated. I hope you guys are eating good, healthy food. Man, it's so important. Like, the food you eat is just so important. I was thinking about that yesterday. Because, I mean, like, okay, I don't know if my grandmother listens to this, but, I mean, I don't think she does. But she did when it was on YouTube. And, I know I mentioned before, like, I don't eat too much. Because like I forget to eat. It's not even forget, I just like, I don't eat that much. Like, that's just how I am. But when I do eat, it's like is it enough, you know? Am I eating good stuff to keep me alive for eating this little? But anyways, yeah, it's just like the importance of the food that you put in your body is very important. The importance is very important. Okay, well, for today, before anything, honestly, everything's so weird right now. Okay, well, at least where I am at, it's pretty weird. We have fires going on, which is very interesting. Well, I mean, for me, it's very interesting because I'm not freaking from California. We don't really deal with wildfires on the East Coast. But it's fun. It's cool. I mean, the animals having to leave their homes isn't fun, and the destroyed environment isn't fun. But you know, it's very weird. So this is something Justin told me. Well, okay, I found out that the reason why the especially the Bobcat fire, the one that's near me, that's in Los Angeles, right, started because of a gender reveal, like, mechanism or something. Like, it was like this. Well, I don't know what they did this time, but just, I heard it was like a gender reveal party, a gender release party, right? To figure out like what the gender of the baby is gonna be. And then, apparently that started last year's fire too, or some shit like that. Because then he showed me a video of like this gender release mechanism exploding, and then like fire everywhere. And then, like, it started spreading rapidly. But that happened last year. So, like, what the fuck? It happened again this year? Like, I don't know, guys. Conspiracy theories. It's all conspiracy theories. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Not the fires, but conspiracy theories specifically. One in particular. Aliens. Yeah, I know, guys. You know, you've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it. Well, no, I really haven't been waiting for it. But, I was going to talk about aliens just because I feel like they were relevant, like 2 episodes ago, and then, you know, they're still very relevant, so I need to say this stuff. But yeah, guys, so I don't know what the hell started these fires. You know, we went through this heat wave, and then what, somebody had a gender release party and a heat wave. God damn. And then it explodes. Sorry, this is gonna be like some explicit ass episode. So anyways, I'm gonna burn some Palo Santo here. So yeah, anyways, that's how the fire started. And it's crazy because like now, I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but I posted a bunch of pictures on my Instagram of San Francisco sky, which was super orange, super yellow. I think for maybe the whole day. I don't know if it's still like that, but I know yesterday it was like very yellow outside where I live. So I was like, oh, it must be, you know, because of the fire and stuff. But it looked so cool because like most of the day yesterday I spent inside, and then I was just looking at out the window, and it was like super yellow, and I was like, man, I gotta go take pictures of this. But I was working, so like I was like, okay, I gotta find a good time to go outside and take pictures. But by the time I went outside to go take the pictures, it wasn't as yellow, but it still looked really cool, and I got some cool pictures of like ashes and stuff like that on the plants, and then you could see like the ashes like flying. It wasn't a lot where you're like, oh, I can't see, but like you could see like flurries, kind of like very, very, very light flurries of snow. But it was ash. Super cool. I feel like I'm in like Hawaii, you know, like with a volcano erupting. Again, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I wrote a poem about just recent stuff. It wasn't even like all about the fires. It was just stuff that's happening. And I compared it to volcanic ash. And I said it was familiar because I feel like I have like ancient Hawaiian in me or something. But anyways, that is that. And yeah, we're gonna talk about some aliens, guys, today. I hope you enjoy this episode. And before that, I pulled a card for you guys. And yeah, so I just want to quickly talk about what's been happening here. Other than that, everything is all right. I'm surviving. And yeah, so let us begin. So the card that I pulled was the Rest and Rejuvenation card. Now I feel like this is like the third time you guys got this card, but you got it in reverse. And as soon as I pulled it, you know, of course I pulled it in reverse. I was like, oh, I gotta pull another one. But I think that this message isn't enough, mainly because as soon as I pulled it, I thought about Mars retrograde. Now we are just starting Mars retrograde. I announced it on my Instagram. If you guys don't follow me, my Instagram name is Natalia of Earth, Natalia of Earth, this planet Earth. And Haku looks so cute though. She's just staring at me. She's just like staring at me from above, but like her eyes are half closed, and then like you see like the reflection of the candles in her eyes. I don't know, she just looks cute. She looks cute and fat, but she's not fat. Okay, so anyways, you got the Rest and Rejuvenation card in reverse. So I instantly thought of Mars retrograde, because Mars retrograde, so Mars, if you guys didn't see my post, Mars is the planet of action, of passion, of, you know, sexuality, sensuality, perseverance, ambition. So it's a very go-getter kind of planet, or the energy that it represents, right? Or that it holds. So it's a very driven kind of energy. It makes you want to do stuff, get stuff done, you know, we gotta keep going, you know, it's very goal oriented. But since it's in retrograde, so we have this energy of Mars, you know, making us want to do stuff. But when it comes to retrograde, it's kind of like delays in that. So it's not like, you know, it makes you want to get stuff done, right? Because it's Mars. But then, you know, you have it in retrograde where it's kind of delaying you and telling you to take a step back, you know, to have time for yourself, to go about these actions at a good pace so that you get everything kind of done. So it's kind of slower, and it might be frustrating because, you know, you have all this action, and especially now, because I've mentioned this, you know, this is the month to do, you know, but now we have Mars in retrograde, so we might feel a little restless because we have all this energy of wanting to get stuff done and wanting to do things, but but then we just have this kind of stagnant energy where we're just, maybe we're overwhelmed with all the stuff that we want to do. So we're like, oh, where do we go? How do we start? What do we do? And you kind of just end up doing nothing, but you have the restlessness of, oh, I have to do something. I want to do something. But you're not actually getting anything done. So it might be frustrating. So just know that during this time, it's okay. Like, it's all right. Everything happens divine timing. Like, there's no need to rush. You will get stuff done. If you want to get it done, you will get it done at the time you're supposed to get it done. That's just how the way things work. So this rest and rejuvenation card in reverse is saying that, right now that there's bustling energy, that it may seem like, there's unending stuff that's just one thing after another that you have to do. And it's just like always having to do stuff, right? And you may be, it may be requiring you to take action on a lot of stuff, a lot of projects, a lot of situations. You might be having a lot of stuff. Maybe it's with work, personal stuff, your housework. But this card is saying, allow yourself to do what's needed, but always remember to schedule some leisure time for yourself. When you're hurrying through life without a break, it fragments your energy and creates an abrasive life force, causing potential frustration in all sorts of ways. So see, you're hearing this, you may be having a lot of stuff to do, but if you're not taking out time for yourself, if you're not slowing down, if you're not easing through this, then it's just going to fragment your energy. It's going to make you feel unhappy, make you feel frustrated and restless and kind of lost and really not confused and not knowing what to do. Where is I going with that? Oh my god, I hate when anyway. But you may not be getting things done as well as you would be if you slow down, right? So you're too busy getting stuff done, doing this, doing that, and you're not slowing down and realizing that you're probably messing up everything that you're doing. You're going about it in a very abrasive way. You're not taking your time. You're not putting in the detail that you should be into these projects. So I gotta listen back to this episode and wonder if the music is too loud or something. I feel like it's okay, but it might be too loud for the microphone. This is East Forest, guys, if you ever want to know. I'll probably always play East Forest during the podcast. I hope I don't get in trouble for playing East Forest. I mean, this is East Forest. It's copyright stuff. But anyways, so it's saying to be careful not to let these endless tasks take you away from yourself. The have-to items on your list may be calling you, but this card reversed is telling you to take time to meditate, rest, and relax. So I think I don't know, I resonate with this card. If you guys listen to my podcast regularly, then you guys should resonate with this too, because I've been talking a lot about doing, but then also needing time for ourselves to get stuff done accordingly. And that's exactly what this card is saying. We have all this energy to do stuff because we are in that time shift where it is time to get things done. But of course we have, Mars in retrograde, where we need to take back a little and give some more time for ourselves, which is completely necessary at all times, not only during Mars retrograde, but when we're getting a lot of stuff done, we need to have this time for ourselves to come back to ourselves and rejuvenate. So that's what this card is saying, guys, to make sure that you take some time out for yourself to rest, to just contemplate, to meditate, to sit with yourself, to enjoy leisure time instead of always having to get stuff done. You're gonna overwhelm yourself, you're gonna burn yourself out, and nobody wants that. All right, we want to take our time, because then if you burn yourself out, then you're not gonna get anything done. You're just gonna be like, oh, I'm burning out. But if you would have taken your time, given yourself time from the beginning, you wouldn't have burned out so easily or burned out at all. So that's what that card is. Your affirmation for this card is, I just closed the book, gosh darn it. Okay, it is, I make relaxation a part of my daily life. I make relaxation a part of my daily life. Peace and quiet bring me clarity and joy. Peace and quiet bring me clarity and joy. What do you guys think about me doing ASMR? It's so funny. I did an episode. This episode is like in the beginning of the podcast. Well, at least I think so. It's definitely in season 1. I was still living in my apartment. And I think it was an episode on meditation. I don't think the episode is on meditation because I only remember doing one specific episode on meditation. But I kind of did like a short guided meditation at the end. But not on purpose. It was just, I mean, it kind of turned into that. Like, as I started, I was like, oh, this could turn into a guided meditation. So then I kind of went with it. But originally, I was just trying to tell you guys, like, how to relax your mind. But my friend told me, like, oh my gosh, you should do guided meditations. It was so good. Like, your voice is so relaxing. And I've had people come up to me, like, just saying they want to listen to my voice because it's so relaxing. But I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Okay, so anyways, guys, getting into this episode, I'm so excited to do this episode because freaking aliens. All right, okay, I mean, maybe you guys, okay, first of all, let's get this straight. Aliens exist. Okay, aliens freaking exist. I don't care what anybody says. If you don't believe aliens exist, don't listen to this podcast because I absolutely believe aliens exist. Now, why do I believe aliens exist, right? Wow, I don't know. Okay, so I guess it all started, I always thought about it, right? Like, oh, aliens could exist. Like, that's crazy, you know? And this is back in middle school, right? Or like back when I was younger, you know, I always thought like, oh, they could exist, but I never really thought about them. Until I saw this movie called The Fourth Kind. I don't know if you guys seen it, but it's with Mila Jovovich, the girl from Resident Evil. It's called The Fourth Kind. Now, this movie scared the shit out of me, guys. I saw this when I was maybe in eighth grade, and it scared the shit out of me because not only is it an alien movie, it's about aliens, but it's particularly about this one lady's story, this one psychologist, and what they do is, so Mila Jovovich portrays this lady, this real life psychologist who exists in real life, and the story's about her. It's about her story. And in the beginning of the movie, it shows the actual lady starting to tell her story. And in parts of the movie, in the most like action-based part of the movie, they actually put, because this lady like filmed what was happening in her life and had these recordings and these voice recordings, because you know she's a psychologist, so she like voice records her sessions, and she does like hypnosis stuff, and she has actual footage, guys, actual audio footage, actual video footage, and they put it side by side, so you see the actor acting out the movie still, like going on with the movie, but then in certain points the screen splits into two and you're seeing the actual footage from this lady's real life story, right? So that scared the shit out of me because they say this is real footage, like this, what you decide to believe is your choice, but this is real footage, this is this lady's story, and it scared the shit out of me because that fucking footage is crazy. I'm sorry, guys, I'm cursing, but it's freaking crazy, okay? Like, just, if you haven't seen The Fourth Kind, watch The Fourth Kind. Let me know your thoughts. But anyways, after I saw that movie, I was scared. I couldn't even go to sleep, like, for a few nights after that because I was like, holy shit, aliens are real. No. Maybe, okay, so say they lied, right? Say that's not real. So anyways, they talk about the fourth kind. Now, if you guys are interested in aliens or study aliens, after I saw this movie, I studied aliens, right? So there's different kinds of interactions with aliens. Now there's different kinds. That's why this one's called the fourth kind. The fourth kind, I don't know if there's a fifth kind, but I know the fourth kind is actual abduction contact. So it goes by this. So the fourth kind, the first kind is a sighting. When you see a UFO, right? You just see it in the sky and you're like, oh, UFO. That's the first kind. That's the sighting. The second kind is, what the hell is the second kind? I think it's like when you hear them, or like you kind of have like a interaction, like, but it's not like a crazy interaction. I don't know what the second kind is. And then the third kind is when you come into contact. Okay, so the third kind is when you come into contact with them, right? Like they're actually in front of your face, like you talk to them or you communicate with them. That's the third kind. I'm not really sure what the second kind is, but you come into contact the third time, and then the fourth kind is when you actually get abducted, when they abduct you. So this movie is about abductions, and they actually, in the end of the movie, I don't want to spoil it for you, but they abduct her daughter, and it's real life. Her daughter is missing to this freaking day, guys, and these aliens were messing with her specifically. Now, from my studies of aliens, now there's different kinds of species of aliens, right? This is according to people who study aliens. I've studied this, guys, okay? Like, I know about this. If you guys don't, you could do your own research. Now, there's different species of aliens. There's the Greys. There's the Anunnaki. There's, I think, the reptilian species. I think those are considered aliens, too. And there are other kinds. I just don't, those are the main ones that I know. But there are many other kinds. And they all have different agendas. It's so weird, right? So they all, like, the Greys, I think, are bad. They're the ones they're the ones who work together with the government. They have, like, their own evil government, and they work alongside our government. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this on the podcast. These are all theories, guys. Haku's so cute. I just want to kiss her face. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but, you know, it's all theories, guys. You know, I'm not saying it's... okay. Anyways. So, anyways, I don't know what type of aliens were abducting her. So look at, right? So, Anunnaki, right? Anu means God. And this is from ancient Sumerian. So in the movie, they're talking ancient Sumerian. They kind of, you hear their voice over, like, audio like footage or whatever, but it's all broken up and distorted because, you know, they're freaking multi-dimensional beings, right? Okay, aliens are multi-dimensional beings. I'm sorry I'm gonna jump around, but these are just things that I need to say, or like thoughts that are just coming out free flow, right? So, and me and Justin were discussing this the other day. I don't think, alright, I'm pretty sure that there's civilization on other planets, right? Depending on what this reality actually is, because I'm not a huge advocate on, you know, we're living on this sphere ball and there's other sphere balls in space, and then the others have atmosphere. Like, okay, it could make sense, but like, I'm not very much of a person who holds that as my main theory of life. But anyways, so okay, it's possible, you know, we're on a planet, we have an atmosphere, we're living, right? There's possible that there's plenty other planets where there's life existing. Now, I don't know if they actually have like aliens, or there's just like maybe the aliens aren't on other planets, you know? Maybe there are civilizations on other planets, but those aren't the aliens we're seeing. Those aren't the UFOs we're seeing. Maybe those are multi-dimensional beings, and these other civilizations on other planets don't know how to, you know, travel to other planets too. Maybe they're just like us, you know, they come to space and then like they put satellites out there, and then like, and this is what you know, theorists say in articles that you read, you know, it is very possible that alien species exist, but there's no way of knowing because the universe is so vast and we can't really travel far in space, and we're not in any, you know, area where we see that there's civilization on other planets, but maybe they can't reach us either. Like, it's very vast, so it might take eons for us to actually reach each other. So that's what, you know, physicists say, or not physicists, or like astrologists now, or whatever, or astronomers. But, you know, the aliens, the UFOs that we see in the sky, I don't, okay, maybe not the UFOs, but these beings in this movie, the fourth kind, and these are the same beings that, now, okay, I mentioned Anu before. In the movie, in the audio file, you hear him say, I am Anu, and he's saying this in ancient Sumerian. They hired somebody who studied ancient Sumerian, who doesn't know it fluently because it's one of the first human languages ever, but he studied most of it. He knows a lot of it, and he translated it, and they're basically saying, I am God, I am your God. Now, I feel like these aliens in this movie are they're the bad aliens. I don't like to say good or bad, but they are harmful to humans, I would say, because they did do some crazy stuff in that movie, and they did abduct the daughter. But anyways, so the way that they come into your life, the way they abduct you, and I've also studied other alien abduction stories after this, or even before this, actually, before I saw The Fourth Kind. And the reason why The Fourth Kind resonated with me so much was because before I had seen The Fourth Kind, when I was maybe in 5th grade, when I was younger, I saw a video on YouTube or on something of these two sisters who are the most abducted people on Earth. They get abducted all the freaking time. This is what they say, right? This was on TV. They're like, yeah, we get abducted all the time. But what they say is that when they get abducted, it's through their dreams, kind of. It's not like they physically get abducted. And you see this, you kind of come to this conclusion too when you watch The Fourth Kind. She doesn't very say it, but it kind of seemingly sees that, you know, every time one of her patients would get abducted, or they would connect with the patient or with her, it would kind of be in the middle of the night through like their half sleep, right? So and then a YouTuber that I watch, and I watched him recently about aliens, that he had an alien experience. It was very similar, that they came through his dreams or kind of in the middle of the night, right? So going back to what I was saying about being multidimensional, so since they come through their dreams, through your dreams, you know, they have some type of way. So now when you go back to the chart, now last week, the slide that I post to advertise last week's episode, and the picture that I was referring to about, you know, God being on the top, if you guys look back, it's the picture with the justice, the girl holding the blindfolded lady holding the scale. That picture in the slide, you see, you know, okay, the physical dimension is on the bottom, and then, you know, source, the higher self, is all the way at the top, and then you have the astral plane, the ethereal plane, the cosmic plane. So the astral plane that you see, this is where aliens are, extraterrestrials, multidimensional beings. And this is what I've heard from people who astral project, that they've seen the beings on this plane. Now, Bridget Nielsen, another YouTuber I watch, now she's also confirmed. This is why I know a lot about aliens, guys, because she is one of these people in the hybrid program, the Rainbow Children program, or the Hybrid Children program. And what this is a program that the extraterrestrials are doing, where they abduct people from a certain bloodline. You kind of have to have a certain type of DNA for your DNA to match with their DNA. And what they're doing is they're abducting females, taking their eggs and morphing them with their own eggs, their own species, and seeing if they can kind of create something similar to us, but their species, kind of half human, half alien. This is called the hybrid program, the hybrid children. Bridget Nielsen talks a lot about this because she is part of one of these bloodlines. She has been abducted since she was younger, and she didn't realize it until she got older, and she was coming more and more in contact with these beings. So now she's like in complete contact with these beings. And I very much resonate with her words, because a lot of what she says is a lot of what I've heard and what I've learned from other people, from other things that I've researched, and things that I felt personally. Now, so I absolutely believe that these beings are multidimensional, and this is how they come in through your dream. So when you dream, you're actually in the astral realm, right? Because your body goes to sleep, but your consciousness is still awake. So when your body sleeps, your consciousness is just kind of floating around in, you know, different realms, mainly the astral realm. This is why it's easy to astral project, because it's the closest realm we have to us. And a lot of these people that I watch know how to astral project. Ryan Cropper has been astral projecting since he was younger, and he teaches online courses on how to astral project, and he has so many astral projection videos, and this is how he knows so much about what goes on in the astral realm, because he's always astral projecting. Koi Fresco Vishuddhas, a YouTuber that I've been watching since high school, he he used to be the biggest atheist, didn't believe in God, didn't believe in anything, and then he astral projected for the first time, and his world completely changed, because he actually astral projected successfully, went into the astral realm and saw all these multidimensional beings and saw the spiritual nature of this actual universe. And now he's like he's Vishuddhadas now. He's a freaking spiritual person. But this all happened because of what he saw in the astral realms. Now, so it says that this is where the aliens reside, right? So these aliens, I don't know if, they're the same as aliens on a planet, but I truly feel that they are multidimensional. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this now is because, so I think I mentioned this in one of the previous podcast episodes, that the Pentagon, the US government, has officially declared that they found something that is not of Earth. That is, it's not of Earth technology. It's nothing that they can understand. It's alien technology. Now, I think I mentioned this before. I think this is the episode I did with Justin, an interview with Pink Skadink, that episode, where I mentioned that, it could be a distraction from, all the pedophilia stuff that was coming up, all the corruption stuff that's coming up, like, oh, look, aliens, like, they're real, and they're trying to distract you from what's actually happening. So, it could be like, oh, look, they're trying to make us believe in aliens now, but I absolutely believe aliens are real, and maybe they're just using that as a distraction, and then, like, okay, then what, right? So, anyways, my personal experience with aliens, and the reason why I'm talking about this so much is because I've had personal experiences, and I wouldn't, I'd be sharing it as a conspiracy theory because, of course, aliens are still considered a conspiracy theory for whatever reason, because I guess we can't physically prove it. So let me just tell you a little about my history with aliens. So after I saw The Fourth Kind, this is back in 8th grade. This is 2012 stuff, guys. 2011, 2012 stuff. And, I was very interested after that because I was like, what the hell? Like, this stuff is real. Like, so, since then, I guess, I think it all started in the beginning of my spiritual journey, learning about just different dimensions, extraterrestrials. Just in the beginning, while I was learning all of that, it was becoming more clear to me that aliens possibly do exist, especially learning about the Greys and the Anunnaki specifically, how they come from Sirius B, and how, there's the dolphins came from Sirius, and they came here. Apparently dolphins are aliens. Look into that. That's what put me on my spiritual journey. I overheard, and I tell this story all the time, I overheard my friend Fernanda trying to put somebody else on about how dolphins were from space, and I was like, what is this? What are you talking about? And why does this sound like, why does this resonate with me? Like, I literally overheard her talking about trying to tell somebody else that dolphins were aliens and from Sirius, and and the other girl was like, what? That sounds crazy. But I'm like, why does this sound right? And I did research for myself the same exact day, and my whole entire life changed. Literally the same exact day. I went home after school because it was like the last period of school. I went home. She was like, look up spirit science. I looked up spirit science, and I watched the whole like human history video, which talks about the fall of Atlantis, the Anunnaki, all of that. And yeah, so anyways, I think it was ever since then that I was very interested in extraterrestrials. So I remember very in the beginning, and I was very excited. I was at my grandmother's house, and this whole weekend I'm telling them about indigo children and spiritual, new age spirituality and all this stuff I'm so excited about to learn and to share with the world. And they were like, oh, but like, I mean, they're kind of spiritual. And after I told my grandmother all the stuff, she gave me my first crystals, because I first learned about crystals during this time too. But she lives in the Poconos, and me and Justin recently went over there to visit. But where she lived at the time was this house in a community in the middle of nowhere in the Poconos. So there's like no street lights, no anything. So in the middle of the night, it's pitch black, but you see all of the stars. Now, in the middle of the night on the porch, in the back porch, I'm looking up at the sky, at the night sky, at all these stars, and I see a star just moving very slowly, but at like consistent speed. Like it's just like gliding, and it's not disappearing, it's not changing shapes, it's not doing anything. It's just like, but there's no light flashing. It wasn't a freaking plane, guys. It was the size of a star, the size of a little dot in the sky. I don't have great vision now, but at the time I did. I mean, I could probably still see it now, but like, it wasn't an airplane, guys. You know how you can see an airplane, you see the light traveling, but it looks like a giant star. It's like, it was way smaller than what you're imagining, like literally a speck, a dot in the sky, but traveling slowly. And then there was no like flashing light, like, you know, like you see like the red flashing light of a plane, or you're like, oh, it's a plane. Like, no, it was literally the size of a star. You couldn't hear anything because it was so high up in space. And I was like, what the hell is that? Like, it didn't look like a shooting star, because, you know, a shooting star goes like fast, you just hear like and like soars and then it disappears. It wasn't a shooting star. It was literally just moving. It was like a star just moving across the sky, like somebody was just driving a star somewhere. Like it, and I was like, I don't know if my grandmother could see, because, you know, she's a grandma, and, you know, old people can't really like see that good. But I was like, Mama, look at this in the sky. And she saw it too. I was surprised she saw it too, but she was like, what the hell is that? And I was like, I don't know, that ain't no plane. And we knew it wasn't a plane. And then from there, you know, I got so excited. I was like, I just learned about, you know, the Anunnaki, and I just learned about Sirius A and Sirius B and these dolphins, and I was trying to put her on and about all these aliens, because I was so excited. And, you know, I just learned about this stuff, and look, now I'm seeing a UFO. Now I feel like that was my first UFO sighting, because I swear I think that was a freaking UFO. And then, you know, also this is still very beginning, when I'm still watching spirit science, like learning about all this stuff. I go on the rooftop of my apartment building. This is back in New York City, in Queens, and I'm standing at the roof of my building, and I'm looking towards the city, towards Manhattan, and I see like these lights like hovering over the city, but not moving. They're just standing there, but they were giant lights just sitting there above the city. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I was like freaking out, because I was like, what the hell, they're aliens. But I think they were just helicopters, because I've seen that later on. I think it was just my first time realizing that, you know, like, it looks like that, but eventually they move, and they're like helicopters. They're like turned into helicopters. Maybe they were aliens turning into helicopters to like blend in or something. But it looked very ominous when I first saw it. So anyways, I think ever since then, I think I saw the fourth kind again after that, because I was very interested in like re-knowing, you know, what I had learned years ago, and now putting together the information. So now I learned about the Anunnaki, and then I hear in an audio saying, I am Anu. So I was like, are these the Anunnaki? Are they the ones who are doing this? Like, are they the bad ones? But, you know, maybe there's no good or bad, you know, they just have their own agendas, and who's us to say it's good or bad? You know, it's good for them, bad for us, but it doesn't mean it's good or bad. But, you know, dangerous to humans, maybe. So anyways, after that, now this is like maybe a year later, I feel like, I don't know, certain days I would get very certain weird feelings, especially in the Poconos when I would visit my grandmother. I would get very weird feelings, like that aliens were around. It was very weird. Now, I don't know if it's self-created, but it would be random. It would just be a random time where we would be sitting outside, and I would feel very strangeness in the air, like just very odd. But when I would feel like, I would associate it with aliens automatically. Like, I don't know why. It was just, I would feel weird, and I would look up at the sky, and I would be like, I feel like I'm gonna see a UFO tonight, or I feel like they're here, or they're nearby. And that's just something I would think or feel. And then when I would feel that, I would see something in the sky that night, or something weird would happen that night. One time was, I was walking to the train, and this was at nighttime. I don't remember what I was going to do. I think I was going to go meet up with my boyfriend at the time. And I was walking to the train at night, and it seemed like one of those nights. The air was very odd, and I felt very strange. And I was like, I think that they're nearby. They're near, right? So I get on the train, and the train shows up. I get on the train, And then, there's only like maybe one other person in the train. And when the doors open, I get in, right, and I sit down, but then the train isn't moving, and the doors are still open, and it's very quiet, and I'm like, why are we still, like, if you know New York City trains, like, they don't really stop long very often, so I'm like, why are we still sitting here? And then 2 minutes go by, we're still sitting there, it's very weird, nobody's saying anything. All of the electricity on the train turns off, it just turns off, and the lights turn off, and it's dark, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I'm already feeling weird because of this weird energy that's around, and I'm looking around. I step out of the train to kind of see what's going on, and then over the speaker I hear the train person say, like, I don't know what he said. He was like, we're having some problems or something like that. And then the lights were like flickering on the train, and I felt so weird. I was like, I don't know, I don't think I should get on this train. So then I just got off the train and I walked back home because it felt very weird. It felt very odd. And I was like, okay, I don't know, this is too much for me. And so anyways, hold on one sec. Sorry guys, I've been like so like phlegmy because of, I guess, the ashes or what I've been breathing. So I've just been coughing and like spitting up mucus. It's kind of gross, sorry. But anyways, so yeah, so then I go back home and I was like, I don't know, it was very weird. I feel like, there's aliens out there, and I sound crazy, but I was like, I feel like there's aliens out there, and I feel like they're toying with me specifically. Like, I feel like they were trying to like contact me because like, why am I feeling this, and then why is this happening like around me, like my environment? So anyways, I go home and I'm just feeling weird that whole night, right? This is where it gets crazier, guys. This was probably my first real alien experience. This might be like the second kind of experience. But anyways, I go to sleep that night, right? Okay, I'm sleeping. I wake up in the middle of the night, out of nowhere. Okay, I'm sleeping. I wake up in the middle of the night and I get super scared out of nowhere. Like, I wake up but I wake up because I feel the sudden feeling of something rushing towards me, like, but outside of my window. Like, it was very weird. Like, I felt like something was coming from the outside and coming towards me fast. And that's what woke me up. I woke up and I was like, oh my god. Like, I got scared, like, really fast. Like, it was coming. I was like, oh my god, it's coming. Like, it woke me up and I got so scared and I felt it coming. And then as soon as I felt it, like, come to me, I heard, like, a crazy noise outside of my window. It was like, like, something super weird. Like, something was outside of my window, guys. I swear to freaking god. Like, outside of my window, where I was living at the time, it was like a platform. So it was like a building, and then, like, outside my window, you could kind of, like, if you wanted to, you could walk outside of the window, and then, like, walk around. It's like a mini roof, right? And I felt like there was something there. Like, something woke me up. Like, it woke me up. This feeling woke me up, guys. It wasn't like I heard something and I woke up and then I felt like something was outside. No, this feeling woke me up that something was coming towards me super fast, and I woke up super scared. I was like, oh my god, it's coming. And then as soon as it reached me, I heard like something outside of my window. It was crazy, and I got so scared. And then as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh my god, what the fuck was that? And I look at my phone and I check the time, and it's 12:12, guys. Or it was some I think it was 12:12, but it was some synchronistic number. And I got scared as shit, guys. Like, I got so scared because I was like, what are the freaking odds? I wake up in the middle of the night, I feel like something's rushing towards me. As soon as it comes at me, or supposedly, like, my feeling, it feels like it came at me, I hear something crazy outside of my window, and then it's 12:12. Like, that, there's no damn coincidence for me. I'm sorry. I don't believe in coincidence. I believe everything happens, not freaking coincidence. And that was probably my first real alien experience, because earlier that day, I was feeling the freaking aliens. That was happening. I didn't end up going where I wanted to go because I was feeling these freaking aliens messing with me or something, and then that happened to me in the middle of the night. Now, that was crazy. That was probably the most extreme experience I've ever had with aliens. But then just random times, after that, since then, I'll still get those feelings like, oh my god, they're like oh my god, there's aliens around, but like I feel weird, like the air feels weird, it feels very familiar. And now I have this familiar alien kind of feeling where if I feel this kind of stiffness in the air, I feel like it's aliens. I was like, I feel like there's aliens around, or they're here, they're gonna do something today, or they're kind of around. Like I just feel like they're around. And then I just feel kind of like ominous air. Now it's so funny because I watched a recent video from Ryan Cropper, and he was saying that, the encounters that he had with aliens, where he'd be sleeping in the middle of the night and they would come into his room. Well, this is a certain incident that they came into his room and he felt like he was in the astral realm because he astral projects a lot, and he said he felt a very thickness in the air before they even came, that he woke up in the middle of the night and he felt a certain thickness in the air. He couldn't tell if he was astral projecting or not, because it felt like the astral realm. It was kind of similar environment. And when he said that, I really resonated with that, because I do feel a certain thickness in the air, a certain ominous feeling in the air when I've had these experiences, or I've seen UFOs, or I've just felt, a presence. I've felt this certain kind of feeling in the air. So, other than that, okay, so then I was thinking about, this is something I was talking about with Justin, a few days ago, or last week, actually, at the beach, and I was trying to figure out, this is something else that happened to me. So, last week, we're at the beach, and that day, I kept getting random flashes. Now, this is something that happens to me often, where, like, I'll forget my dreams, but then, like, randomly in the, like, midday, I'll have a flashback of the dream I had the night before. Like, I'm like, oh shit, like, oh, I kind of remember my dream, like this, like, it's weird, like, I'll get random flashes of, like, memories of the dream that I had. I'm like, oh, well, like, I remember that from my dream, but then I won't remember the dream. Like, I'll just remember it in patches throughout the day. So we're at the beach, and we're just sitting there, and I got a random flashback of a dream that I had the other night. And then another part of the day, I had another flashback, a dream I had the other night. It was weird. It was like, I remembered, there was like 2 nights in a row where I couldn't remember my dreams. Like, usually I can, like, when I wake up, I'm like, oh, that was a weird dream. But like 2 nights in a row, I couldn't remember what I dreamt, or like, I didn't really know what I dreamt. I didn't think about it too much. And then this day, I got a flashback. Like, this day that we were at the beach, I kept getting flashbacks of like these dreams that I was having, but it was in like a similar realm, right? So like, there were 2 different dreams, 2 different nights, but in the same world, in the same realm. And it was kind of like this cyberpunk looking world where, like, it kind of looked like Spy Kids 3, but not really. It was like kind of like cyberpunk-ishy. It looked like a city, but like very, like, I don't know, cyberpunk. I don't know how to explain it. It was very like what's that? Tron kind of thing, like, or like Elon Flusk or whatever. Elon Musk, Elon Flusk. What the heck? Eon Flusk? Is that what it is called? Eon Flusk? But it was kind of like a similar realm like that. And I kept getting flashbacks of it at the beach while I'm just like, contemplating life, looking at the ocean. And then, I wasn't even thinking about the dream, right? That happened, like, okay, time passed, right? And I'm just sitting there, and I got a random flashback again. But I got it with the thought in my head, maybe it's an alien experience. It was very weird. Like, I was just sitting there, and then I got a flashback of the dream. But at the same time, the memory flashed in my head. My own voice in my head flashed at the same time. At the same exact time I got the memory, I was like, maybe it's an alien experience. And I was like, what? Like, I was like, what? I wasn't even thinking about freaking aliens, or like, I wasn't thinking about aliens. I wasn't thinking about the dream. I wasn't thinking about anything. But then I got a flashback with maybe it's an alien experience. Like, oh, maybe what you experienced is an alien, or maybe it's aliens. So like, it was really weird. It was a flash in my head of like, maybe it's aliens. But like, I wasn't freaking thinking about aliens or the dream. It was like very odd. It was very odd. And it was like aliens, and I was trying to think about aliens, and I was like, aliens, like what? They were trying to contact me through my dreams. And then I was like thinking about it, because I go on these things in my head where I'm just like in thought loops, and then I'm like in deep thought. I'm trying to contemplate everything, and I'm just sitting there trying to think about this, and I'm like, why would I think that aliens? Like, maybe they're trying to contact me through my dreams, but then like, I don't remember seeing aliens. I just remember being in a certain realm. And I was like, now that I think about it, I can't remember the last 2 nights' dreams. But I keep getting flashbacks of it. And then this thought, maybe it's an alien experience or something. Is that my alarm? Or is that the actual song? Oh, it is the actual song. Wow. Because it's actually my alarm. I'm gonna change this. Okay. So, but it wasn't like, I don't remember there being aliens in the dreams. Like, it wasn't an alien dream. It was just like random flashbacks of me being in this certain realm, being in a certain world. So maybe like I was in the astral realm, and like that's why I said it was an alien experience, because like or maybe they took me to that realm in my sleep, right? And I was like, but how would they do that? I was like, aliens? Because then now I'm thinking about like, okay, now aliens are very like, they're coming around more often now, because you know we're kind of going through this huge thing right now as Earth. And I've been feeling their presence more often because of what's happening. Like, I feel like it's very correlated, especially now that the Pentagon has said like, oh, we're seeing aliens and all of this. And I feel like it's a lot's happening right now, energetically. So I feel like the aliens are I don't know what species it is. I don't know who's good. I don't know who's bad. I could look more research. I haven't done research on aliens in a while, but I just randomly pick up stuff over time. So I'm like, but from other planets? Like, then that's when I came to the conclusion, like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure they're multidimensional, because then how would they go to the, you know, astral realm? And then, you know, I was thinking about God too, because then like, okay, so I was like, an alien experience, what, like, why would I don't think I got abducted. Like, that's what I was trying to think. I was like, I don't think I got abducted. Like, it was just I couldn't remember my dreams. But then like as I'm talking to Justin, now I started like, because Justin was like, what are you thinking about? Because I'm just sitting there in deep thought trying to figure this out. So what are you thinking about? So I was like, man, like, all right, let me tell you what I'm thinking about, right? So I can't remember my dreams, and now this thought came with the alien experience, and now like I'm trying to figure out what aliens are. And so, but as I'm talking to him about it, like, I felt scared. Like, I don't want to say scared, but it felt real. Like, as I was saying it out loud, the more it resonated with me. The more I spoke about it out loud, the more it resonated with me more, and the more it felt like truth, and the more it scared me. Because the only other similar experience that I had with that would be when I'm, you know, speaking my truth. The first time I ever told somebody like, oh, I want to attain enlightenment, or like, this is what I plan to do with the rest of my life, because I never told anybody that. And this was before I started the podcast. I decided to start this podcast because, you know, I decided to become more open about it. But this was always something I kept to myself. And when I said it out loud, I was like shaking. I was like nervous and scared, because, you know, I was speaking my truth. I was speaking something that was very real to me, very true to me. And it felt weird saying out loud. But, you know, as I was talking about what my experience out loud to Justin, you know, it was a very similar feeling. I felt kind of scared because it felt very true, very real. But I was like, but I don't think I got abducted by aliens, because like it didn't seem harmful. Like, I just don't remember my dreams. But I don't know, it weirded me out. And then, you know, then I started thinking about God, right? Because now, you know, I haven't had an alien experience in a while, but now, you know, I'm very into bhakti yoga. I'm very devotional towards the universe, I guess you could say, God, Brahman. And so now, and I feel very connected to God specifically. So I'm, you know, as I'm thinking about all this, and I'm looking at God, or I'm like thinking, I'm like what, like aliens? Like, okay, so are you the God of aliens? Like, okay, God is incomprehensible. And I felt like by trying to figure this out, you know, I'm not really thinking about God, how God actually is, you know. God is incomprehensible. God is everything. But God is the God of the universe, right? So, okay, God is the universe. God is the universe. And when I talk about God and the universe, I talk about everythingness. I talk about space. I talk about the planets. I talk about every single little thing. It's not like, oh, God is just hovering over Earth. It's not like it's the God of Earth. Like, all these planets, you know, that is God. God made up all those planets too. God is like everything, vastness, right? God is the black holes, God is the timelessness in space, the stars, the dwarfs, the freaking... So does that mean that God is also the aliens? That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, okay, but then, you know, I'm hearing, you know, the Anunnaki saying, oh, I am your God, or whatever, you know, but, you know, maybe just to scare us humans, like, oh, aliens are God, oh my God. But like, so then I look back to the chart, right? Because then I couldn't stop thinking about the chart that I had posted the week before, because this happened after my podcast episode about, you know, the higher self, God being on top, and then, you know, the astral realm, the cosmic realm, and then how aliens reside in the astral realm. So if aliens reside in the astral realm, the higher self is like above that, or like on a higher vibration than that, then obviously God is up there. So God is the God of aliens. So the God that I bow to, is that the same God that the aliens bow to? Like, I don't know, that was weird. And then like, why do they exist? Like, is this just God expressing himself in a different way? Because like, again, like, okay, if you watch my spiritual rants video on YouTube, it's the most recent video on YouTube, spiritual rants 1, I mentioned what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh my God, that God is, oh yeah, okay. So I mentioned, like, if God is everything, then why aren't we superheroes, right? Why aren't we the Avatar? How come we don't see God expressing himself in every single way, where we have superpowers and we can create fire and we can do this and all that? But we're only humans, you know. Humans are like 1% of what God has created. So like, is that also, like, are aliens also God expressing himself like in another way? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't know, it's confused. Like, I don't know, I feel like I'd have to have a talk, like a in-person talk with Bridget Nielsen or Brian Cropper, to hear their thoughts on this, because they're very more well educated about aliens. Well, Bridget definitely is well educated about, and then Brian said something. I started watching his video, like he used to work for the Galactic Light Federation or something, where they abducted him. So they asked him if they wanted him to become part of the hybrid program, I think, one time. But anyways, like, Bridget Nielsen has all these like hybrid children. She's like part of this bloodline when she's been being abducted, and she has a lot of hybrid children. She's met them before, and it's very interesting stuff, guys. If you want to check her out, her name's Bridget Nielsen. She's on YouTube, and just watch any of her hybrid children videos or any like extraterrestrial alien videos. She's very well educated in that. She even did there's something called the UFO Congress or convention. I think it's a UFO convention. It's like a legitimate convention where all these scientists and physicists and astrologists or whatever the hell, people who study aliens, come together in this convention, and they have these it was a conference. It was like a conference talk, and she did a conference, spoke at this conference. This is on her YouTube. It's like an hour long, about the hybrid children, about the hybrid program, and how she knows people who are in this program. She's one of these people in the program, and she was like, and she speaks it as truth to all these people, like, okay, we all know that aliens exist, right? And apparently that there's this galactic federation. So in space, it's kind of like the UN but for species. So it's like a leader from, you know, there's a human representative, there's an Anunnaki representative, there's a gray representative, there's a representative, like, there's a reptilian representative, like a representative, like each species, and they come together in this, like, this organization to, like, talk about, I don't know, multi-dimensional stuff, or like planet stuff. I don't freaking know. It's so weird, guys. And, you know, I've learned all this stuff, and it's still very much a conspiracy theory, I guess, but it's very interesting stuff, guys, and I hope you guys find interest in it, and maybe you do some research, maybe you've had alien experiences. Please let me know. Like, contact me via Instagram. I think you could write to me on Anchor. I don't know, you can send me voice messages too. I know a lot of you are listening to this through Anchor. Like, I see, I can check the statistics on where you guys are listening for this from, like what countries, all that. I know all of you are listening. I see you listening. please write to me, send me messages, tell me if you know, or if you've had any alien experiences, or if you know anybody who's had alien experiences. Have you been abducted? Have you seen a UFO? Have you had some second kind weird encounter like I have? Do you feel that ominous presence sometimes like I do? Have you had dreams with them? Have you had contact? Like, I'm very interested. But yeah, that's really it. I'll mention in future episodes other random things that I learn or things that I know. Why is my music turning off? What the heck? What is it, a spam number? Should I answer it? I don't want to answer it. Indiana? Let's find out who it is. Hello? This better not be no damn aliens, guys. Hello.
Hi, this is Dana, and I'm calling you about your car insurance. How are you today?
I don't have a car. Leave me alone. I hung up. I'm calling about your car insurance. What car insurance? I don't have one. But anyways, guys, that was it. Please let me know if you've had in contact with these freaking aliens. I was about to say something about a UFO. I was like, you mean my UFO insurance? I'm dumb. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to really talk about. You know, I've had a weird experience, and then, you know, recently I've had those dreams I couldn't remember, and then like that weird thought maybe it's an alien experience, and then like after that I saw the video from Ryan Cropper, and even Bridget does a video on how to increase contact with extraterrestrials. Now, I'm not too sure if I want to increase contact with them, mainly because like I don't know what they want with me. Like, if I can feel this stuff and other people can't, and like I've had experiences like this, like does this mean that, and I feel like they know me or something. I don't know, maybe I'm getting too crazy, or like I don't know, but I feel like they know me. I feel like the government knows me. Well, look at all the shit that I talk on this to other people. I'm surprised that they wouldn't know me. But anyways, yeah, that was today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know what you freaking think about this. I'm so interested to hear your stories and to see what you have to say, and hear what you have to say. But that's it for this week, guys. Anything else? You know, before I close this, I just wanted to say that, you know, I thought maybe they're here right now and we can't see them. Like, maybe they're over California, but we can't see them because they created these fires, right? They created these fires, so we can't even see the sun, guys. Like, it was so yellow yesterday. Like, the atmosphere sucks right now. Like, apparently Los Angeles is experiencing the heaviest smog that they've experienced in 50 or 30 years, something like that. But you can't, I saw the sun earlier. Not today, yesterday I saw the sun outside of my window, but I saw it behind all the smoke. Like, it was like a full-blown sun, and all I could see was like, it looked like the moon kind of, but it was like orange. It was really weird, and I was like, what the hell, is that the sun? But you know, we can't see the sky, so maybe the freaking aliens are here and they don't want us to see the aliens or something, so they're covering it with a lot of smoke. I don't know, that's something that I thought too, just because I wanted to talk about aliens today. But anyways, it's very odd, it's very weird. And you know, the air felt very, like, the other day, even my boss was telling me, or my teacher, she was the energy is very weird today, and she even told me, and I felt the same way. This was a few days ago. This was like when it first started getting gray because of the fires, and that night she texted me and told me she could see the fire from her window because she lives near more up the hill towards the mountains. But she said the energy is very weird today, and I was like, yeah, it is very weird. It's very ominous feeling. She was like, yeah, it is. And it was maybe because of the fires too, and you know, the fires add to it. It's very cloudy, it's very grim, but the atmosphere is very odd. It's very thick, and I don't know, I guess that's why I wanted to talk about it recently. I don't know if they're here and we can't see them, but if they are multi-dimensional beings, then they have the complete opportunity to become invisible, like not on this frequency where we can see them. But anyways, that's it for this week, guys. Please let me know what you think if you're here in California. How are you doing with the fires? It's pretty bad up north, and it's pretty bad down here, so let me know what you think. And yeah, we'll talk next week. let's do some energy stuff next week. I'm down to talk about some Kundalini. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. All right. I hope you have a wonderful week. Please stay healthy. If you are near the fires, make sure you wear a mask when you go outside because we don't want you breathing that stuff, guys. All right. Yeah. Peace, guys.